Welcome to the DSQ podcast with Blake Lawson and Dakota Reynolds.
Well, that's over.
Yep,
That's it.
that's it.
The longest, as they said every single time, without fail, the longest F1 season is now over.
And boy, did it feel it.
Ugh, thank God it's over, let's be honest.
That was exhausting.
But yes, of course, we are done. That is a 24-hour season. This will be our Disc Over scheduling, our programming. This is our Abu Dhabi recap, review, whatever we call it. We'll have a end-of-season review as well as our prediction tallying in a separate episode later. I won't say next week. I won't say later this week. Just at some point.
Later.
Later. Not too much later. Not like
Soon. Trademark.
before the new year, hopefully. But of course, Abu Dhabi. Been the end of the season since what, 2016? Something like that.
Something like that.
Usually a pretty boring race. And today was
It was okay. It was
okay.
definitely some front-loaded excitement.
But anyway, all looking forward to it. Main storyline, of course, being Drivers' Championship done and dusted for a couple races now, or at least one race before this. Really coming down to the McLaren and Ferrari.
And Red Bull. Well, Red Bull not going for the championship, but going for second.
Yep. Going into this, so that was kind of the main storyline. That being said, to cover some stuff we normally don't cover, because we haven't talked about it yet, but some of the other ones, as stuff has been extended, of course. Monaco's been extended. Monza's been extended. Monza's been extended. China has been extended through 2031. Interesting, because we can not China for 4 years.
I mean, there's a reason for that.
Yeah. And then the more not surprising, because it's kind of been rumored that they didn't want to do it, or FIA was kind of, or F1, whoever that was, I don't know how that works, was Zandvoort through 2026 and then not expected to be expanded. I need to move this.
Got it. So Max is going to retire after 2026. Got it.
That sure is the rumor mill. Speaking of Max, to let's say giving him a reason to retire, expecting Dad Verstappen.
Daddy Verstappen can no longer be referred to for Yas.
Thank God. Hopefully he's not babysitting ever.
Yeah, no. Do not let that man near your children.
Yes, absolutely not.
They will end up with several years of trauma and 3 to 4 World Drivers' Championships.
Is it worth it? Probably not.
I don't know. That is a lot of money.
It is a lot of money. But yeah, so congrats, I guess, to Max and Kelly. And hey, both grandparents actually stay away. And of course, there was a little moment when they talked to Max about it, which was just like, that's what it's like to be a dad. It's like, well, it kind of already was a bonus dad, so I like that. It's like, yeah, definitely kind of be like, yeah, not, still acknowledging, of course, Penelope. So, no. But anyway, yep, there's that. Races, whatever. It's, racetracks are going to race.
Woohoo. Bring back France.
Maybe. build a new cool circuit and then bring back France.
You can keep the same blue and red. I like it.
Yeah.
Just build a better circuit.
Yeah. Just make the other parts around it good.
Don't contract Tolka. We'll get to that.
All right. Well, of course, this being the last race of the season, everybody having to fulfill their junior driver requirements. So we got a long list. First of all, your almost F2 championship, but not champion, not quite yet. Isaac Hadjar sitting in for Max and his Red Bull. Yuki, and I think I reported this wrong because I could have sworn Yuki sat out in Japan, but it was Daniel. So Yuki sitting out this time for Awasa, of course, for the V-Carb team. The Leclerc boys we're here. Carlos Sainz sitting out for Arthur Leclerc. So Lec and Lel.
Lel.
Lel bro. We'll get to bro. Actually, we'll get to him now because Alex sitting out for the Williams team. Luke Browning, never heard of him. Me neither.
I've heard the name, but whether he was good or not never really entered my realm.
I was like, why are they having a country music bro country dude drive a car? But yep, so there's our Lel, there's our bro. Oscar sitting out for Rio Harukawa. So close to probably getting that wrong or right. I believe it or not, a Toyota endurance racer.
Huh.
So interesting there. Fair to be in for Haas, but no.
No, fair.
Oldest rookie, or oldest junior at 30 years old.
Fernando?
Yeah, Fernando too. Felipe, our favorite for perpetual reserve driver, unfortunately, probably. Filling in for Lance at Aston, and then technically a junior driver, but not just for the FP1 session, of course, Jack taking the place of, as rumored and confirmed, of Esteban as he exits Alpine early. Rather by choice or not, you can read what is said and decide that for yourself.
It's all rumor at the moment, so
Yep.
got nothing for you.
Jack racing with 61 for this. That will not be a season. I believe it's 7 next year, which is Sonny Hayes, winner of the Abu Dhabi Grand Prix, apparently. It's a fucking F1 movie. But, yeah, so that, had a good little Lil Bro do. It was a pretty good one. Good combo. But, yep, your junior Leyden, I think is the word I'm looking for there.
Leyden is the word, yeah.
FP1, and of course, the most important rookie, Fernando Alonso, breaking out a classic car as shit, or basically FP2 engine part 3 at this point.
GP2 engine,
GP2, yeah. Not happy with the car. Later going out and saying, hey, there was kind of a little bit more context to that. You're just taking that clip and making me look angry. So Fernando not happy with...
Yeah, but Fernando is angry a lot of the time, so...
I would be too if I'm, quote, second driver to Lance fucking Stroll. So
Amen.
He can be as angry as he wants to. But yeah, uneventful FP1. Just, got your juniors going around, doing junior stuff. Not wrecking the cars, hopefully. Almost. I think Isaac kind of moment.
Yeah, he sure did. Did a little spinny do.
Yep. Classic. Whatever. Well, honestly, just kind of blazing through this because it's Abu Dhabi.
Abu Dhabi, gotta get through it.
FP2. Hey, more Williams problems. Maybe some foreshadowing. Now that I think about it. Yep, some issues with some power stuff, and that's about it. Yeah, they just had some issues here and there. Alex was in the garage for a little bit. The other one was in the garage a little bit.
When is
Franco
Alex not in the garage?
Yeah. So yeah, maybe some foreshadowing, unfortunately, there, and lots of guys bottoming out, doing some floor damage, some plank damage. A lot of worries there, but I don't know, man. It's Abu Dhabi.
It's Abu Dhabi.
To be honest, I could be rarely give any extra care for this race. My 2 notes were for FP3. The second note for FP3 was I fell asleep.
I mean, honestly.
Yeah. So. And my other note for FP3 was Fernando radio swap, and I have a good feeling about this car. So, trying to correct himself, I guess. But, yeah, it's Abu Dhabi. It's the end of the season. Really, the only storyline is, as mentioned, Ferrari, McLaren battle. So, trying, sessions going up. We knew going into it. Charles has his 10-place penalty. Of course, the Williams boys also having some PU elements or RNC elements.
Yep, RNC. A few different things going on with all of that. Surprisingly, 2 teams actually brought upgrades to Abu Dhabi.
Woo!
VCAR brought new front wing parts to promote better flow to the rest of the car, while Kicksauber tweaked the rear floor and brake deflectors for better flow and diffuser efficiency. As for RNCs, of course, the two Williams drivers, Alex and Franco, took their 6th and 7th complete gearbox assemblies respectively. So both took 5-place grid drops. And then Charles Leclerc took his 3rd of 2 energy stores, which he seemed surprised of, and took a 10-place grid drop. And then, meanwhile, Alonso also took his 2nd of 2 control electronics. Later on, Charles would also take his 7th of 8 exhaust systems, but no additional penalty for that. No one took a exhaust penalty. I thought we were going to get that because, 5 or 6 races before the end, we had Max and, I think, Esteban both on 8 exhaust parts.
That would have sucked. It's like, hey, Jack, cool. You're starting with a happy first race. You're starting with a 60. You're starting in Qatar. That would have sucked. Yeah. Oh, hey, was the V-carb wing the flow, the anti-stall flow? Because sorry, we always have to have at least 2 Chekhov's guns loaded at any time, so that's sad. All right, let's just get into quality. Everybody wants to talk about the race, nothing else. It was, bog standard shit. Well, actually, this leads to one to it is
A couple of things.
George.
Actually. Oh, there's
Hey,
that one.
Yeah, no, we're starting with that one. So last week, the very controversial, yeah,
Very. Yes, I would say very.
of Max Verstappen getting a unprecedented 1-place grid drop for impeding on, but with both cars being on a slow lap. Meanwhile, Q1 here, we have George Russell, Georgie, impeding on a fast lap, Liam, I believe, yes?
Believe so? Yep.
And, hey, cool.
Good job, George.
Great. Okay, anyway, we're moving on because that's no further investigation.
My entire note for that is just, I can't even, and then Gavin flustered noises.
Yeah.
Just fucking...
Oh, so we're not doing penalties this week. They were, in fact, doing penalties this week. But you're out for Q1, and we did have some good news. Checo, not out in Q1. Woo! Woo! Thank God. Your outs are Jack Doohan, Franco Colapinto, your big one, Lewis Hamilton, Zhou Guanyu, and Alexander Albon. Williams, not Williams weekend.
Nope. It's not been Williams' season, let's be honest.
And Lewis Hamilton, unfortunately, I fully believe that he definitely would have made it out of Q1 if it wasn't for Kevin Magnussen Mario Karting a pylon perfectly, pinpoint precision. I think those P's that pop on there.
That was the fastest pylon in the world for about a minute and a half.
Yeah. The manhole was like, oh shit, what's that? Yeah, pylon managed to wedge itself on Lewis, and yeah, that was it. That and the timing just didn't work out. So, unfortunately, Lewis's last Ferrari? No, not yet.
Not yet.
Last Mercedes race, starting wherever he started, because I can't remember where the penalties for everything kind of landed.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, because he ended up like
Somewhere.
16th.
16th.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's all that. I mean, no penalty for K-Mag because, I mean, how do you...
I mean...
What do you do there?
Yeah. Took avoiding action, and
That's
it
kinda
just
just
happened to hit the bollard. The little pylon.
Let's just get fucked, kid. I'm sorry.
Sorry about it. Unfortunate.
Q2, a little bit of signs and Checo in each other. Not in the exciting way, apparently, as I put that right there. It's maybe not the best way to say that. Getting in each other's way. Full sentences matter. Don't just skip words, kids. You can imply things you don't want to imply. Nothing came of it. I don't even have it noted, so. But that puts your Kevin Magnussen, your Charles Leclerc with your 10-place penalty. Starting, or out, and technically P14. Of course, basically starting, the bottom. Constructors Champ. Lance Stroll, surprising no one. Liam Lawson, surprising no one. And unfortunately, my boy Yuki Tsunoda rounding out. So close. So close.
Mm-hmm.
So close. That being said, some shenanigans in here too. I didn't explicitly note this, but I am remembering this. We had a couple of, at least on the F1 TV broadcast side, David Coulthard calling some very interesting, or being an older former racing driver, some eagle-eyed track limit stuff. So he managed. I'm giving him credit. I'm sure he didn't actually convince the stewards of anything, but both Oscar and Checo getting their laps reinstated, and then Charles not getting his reinstated. Now, I saw a picture, and it was like, how is this track limits and this not? When you can clearly see like 2 inches of blue on Charles's. I'm like, you're not making the right point here.
Yeah, no. You're a little bit blind there.
Yeah. So, no, it was, unfortunately it was, so that's why, unfortunately, Checo was, or not Checo, but Charles was starting way down further than his P10, which could have been good. I mean, still seemed to work out. Q3, probably the highlight. Max, about midway through, probably the second set lap, just almost 360s it, recovers, and sets the fastest lap. Sets the provisional pole at that point.
I mean,
that's just Max Verstappen. Like, that's the
just
epitome of
Max
Max Verstappen. Just like, okay, we're good. I'm probably more controlled than that.
Oh, fuck. All right.
Simply, okay, good. But that does not last. Unfortunately, I said second one. Abu Dhabi, of course, a big track Evo every time. So I'm having a lot of support series this week. Your top 10. I'm really jumping ahead, so please definitely stop me if I'm getting too far. P10, Checo Perez. Woo! Woohoo! Hopefully it plays out for poor Checo. Loaded gun. P9, Valtteri Bottas. Oh, can we have it happen? Could it happen?
Valtteri!
8, your rookie, Fernando Alonso. 7, Georgie Russell. 6, Pierre Gasly, continuing the amazing form in that Alpine.
Fantastic job from him, honestly.
P5, Max Verstappen. Fortunately, kept it a little too clean on his next lap and did not get that little extra spin second or whatever. P4, Nico Hulkenberg. I can't do the Daniel Ricciardo.
Hulkenberg.
Yep. It's so close. This could be it. I mean, we know
points for Valtteri. We could have a podium for Nico.
Yeah. And then Carlos Sainz, George Russell, and of course Lando Norris, your pole position. George?
Not George. Oscar.
I have an extra line, so the P looks like an R. It's not the first time that that someone's messed up Oscar's name this week. Sorry, Oscar P2. And Lando, yeah, because it was McLaren 1-2. Easy, sealing the championship. Nothing will go wrong.
Nothing could go wrong.
Oh no!
It went wrong. Speaking of it all went wrong.
Of course, your Checo, your 10 place penalties, 5 place penalties for both Alex and Franco. Nico Hulkenberg as well. Such a good, top 5 placement. He gets a 5th place drop for allegedly, just because I haven't seen it, overtaking 2 cars in the tunnel under the underpass.
He did indeed. I went back and watched it just to confirm it and everything, because I wanted a small little section about talking about the 2 major penalties coming from Quali, being George and Nico. It's a clear-cut penalty because it is a race director's note. I went back and read over it. It's version 2, note 12.4, item 13 or something like that. It's document 13, and then it's note 12.4. It literally says exactly that: no overtaking in pit exit road.
Which honestly, it's more impressive than anything.
It almost wasn't a note. It is only in
Oh, is
V2.
it
It is only in V2, and it was the only thing that was added in V2.
I mean, we did learn from the Vegas and Carlos Sainz penalty fiasco that the race director's notes are important. The note is important to be having there.
It is important, and I get it. It's a safety thing. It is a safety thing because if something goes wrong, getting people in and out of there, you can't really get a vehicle in to do the recovery part of it. I get it. Maybe if it's so big of a safety issue, maybe you shouldn't have pit exit cross under the track as a tunnel. I blame this entire I blame this entire penalty on Herman Tilke. Like,
There you go.
and this man has his hands in designing half of the tracks on the grid this year. Literally half. Designed some of my favorite ones. I was like, Baku's on there, I know for a fact. But like, why? Why put that underneath the track like that if it's going to be a safety issue?
It's cool. It's different. Very also, when you take 2 seconds to think about it, you're like,
Hey, if something went wrong and that car just died in the middle of it, because it kind of goes down and then it goes up, if it dies right there and just sits and catches fire, now you've got a fire under the track.
Yep.
You idiots. You idiot.
and your pit's closed, and
Yeah, everything's chaotic at that point.
like
Have
you
it go over.
You have to red flag the race basically, but have them stop on track, like in Sector 3.
Yeah.
Like you can't have them come into the pit. You can't have them go onto track where there's fire under that. Like you would just have to.
Just have it go over.
Yeah.
That satisfies the cool looking design. It satisfies the pit lane crosses over the racetrack, but it keeps it safer. Come on, Tilke.
Get it together, man.
Get it together.
For whatever new track you're gonna build. I don't know, maybe. I was like, do we have new tracks? Barcelona street track?
Actually, he did
Or
have
Madrid.
hands in designing the Valencia circuit, the street circuit,
Infamously.
and Barcelona. So,
All right, let's get to the race. Unless you have any.
Abu Dhabi 2024.
It's a normal race. Nothing bad ever happens in Abu Dhabi. By the way, sorry, the mic sounds different. I was on a very uncomfortable stool. I'm standing up now.
Lights out.
And away we go. Hey, team, that's
Lap 1, turn 1,
lap
baby.
1, turn 1. At least we never have penalties on lap 1, turn 1 incidents. Unless you're stupid idiots, according to Max Verstappen. Lap 1, turn 1. Max Verstappen and Oscar Piastri. Of course, Oscar needing to help his team fully secure the World Constructors. Max is, trying to have some fun, I guess. I mean, he should just do whatever he wants to. He's not helping the team. I guess there is still on the line at this current for this next 30 seconds. There is still improvement for Red Bull. Everybody's like, Max doing Max things. I mean, everybody's saying, Max wasn't fully long. There was space, whatever. Since when do you ever penalize lap 1, turn 1 if it's anybody but Max? At P1, Tommy on P1 made a good point. It's like, if you want to fight the British bias allegations, you're not doing a very good job of it. With George, we're doing it for this lap 1, turn 1 shit.
It's ridiculous.
So,
Absolutely
10-second penalty for Max Verstappen. Yep, no more 5-second penalties unless for false starts. We'll get to that. Also, lap 1. This is more turn 5 and 6. Checo Perez and Valtteri Bottas, famed second drivers for top teams. Checo, both of them having very off
I didn't know that
seasons.
Kick Sauber was a top team.
Well, when Mercedes, when he was with Mercedes,
No, you're good. You're good.
but they have a little coming together, and that ends Checo's race.
Yeah, he has.
Valtteri gets a 10-second penalty for that. We're throwing out 10s like it's I don't know.
That meme.
Yeah, that meme. People are like, "Oh, look, it's shitty Checo being shitty Checo." What do you want him to do on this one?
Yeah.
Sorry, you had no control of this one. Qualify better? Sure. maybe. But, I mean, he got to Q3.
He did get to Q3. He's improving.
Like, yeah.
It's not a street circuit either, so for him to be here in the first place.
So he's going to hate for it, and I mean, let's be honest, it looks like he's not going to be racing, at least in that Red Bull seat next year, so whatever, but this one isn't on Checo, and if you think it is, you're delusionally insane and you need to go away. But yes, Valtteri gets a 10-second for that.
Brings out the VSC.
Does bring out the VSC. Very kind of quick VSC, like a one-lapper. I was like, they said he kind of gets out, and those marshals are like kind of rushing him, like, let's go. Like,
Yeah. It's like, we ain't fucking this up. We've already had this. Let's get this out of here.
While all that is happening, the VSC coming to an end, Oscar's just like, hey, how's that Williams rear diffuser doing? I want to see it up close.
Up close.
And just, what was that? Just smacks. Just right up the tailpipe of Franco Colapinto. God. So Oscar's day now getting worse. Colapinto's day now also getting worse.
Why can I not just exist one race without being in pain for being a Williams fan?
Does Colapinto retire here, or does he retire later? Never mind, it's later. I found the note.
Yeah, I was gonna say I think it's later.
Of course, they both get in. Franco has a puncture; he gets that taken care of. Oscar, it's they don't actually change the wing on Oscar's,
which is weird. Yeah.
Yep, they just give him some new wheels and did not get a penalty quite yet. He does get a penalty for that, causing collision with Franco Colapinto, as well as some more Williams pain. 2-for-1 special. Alex gets noted for a false start. So does Zhou Guanyu. I said those out of order just for the Williams line. Because, Alex races under a Thai flag. Still British. He does not get a penalty for that. But Zhou does get a 5-second penalty for the false start. I actually never saw a replay of it.
Yeah. No
Either of them.
penalties on or no replays on either of them, which I guess I can go back and look at it later. But yeah, no, I didn't think to look at that one. I guess I'm kind of biased there. I don't put my boy in jail.
Yep, race goes on. It's the same kind of thing. I mean, there's Abu Dhabi's kind of a parade to a certain extent.
A little bit,
unless you're Lewis Hamilton or Charles Leclerc out there racing for their lives.
Charles Leclerc passing like 6 people in the fucking.
And some of that was on the start and
turn.
threw off, and some actually decent strategy from Ferrari. Oh my god!
What?
Not good enough, apparently. Lawson comes in, bad pit stop. Miscommunication with either the go light or I said Alex. Liam jumping a little quick, or
I mean, I think they said he had a green light overhead, so which is weird because it shouldn't have lit green until the fucking gun went green and said, "Hey, this is good."
So a little bit. So first, slow pit stop for Lawson, and then he slams down. Doesn't look like hindsight looking at the replay, doesn't look like that thing gets tightened down. Goes, he goes racing. Hey, the tire's not on. What?
Oops. Oops.
Oops. So, and it luckily stays on. He managed to limp his way around, but he does show in the little replay, like one moment where you get some carbon sparks. Yeah. So tire's not on there. He comes back in. They just, jack it back up, get everything tightened back up, goes back out. Car's in unsafe condition. That's another 10-second penalty.
That's a stop and go.
Stop and go. Sorry, correct. The rare stop and go penalty we've had 2 weeks in a row now.
If I had a nickel.
For every time we've had a 10-second stop and go in this 2-week span. Or this season.
This season. To have 2 nickels.
Which isn't a lot, but it is interesting. It's happened twice. I can't do difference marks or else I would. Trust me.
I don't have the confidence to do it right now live.
A 10-second penalty? A stop and go 10-second penalty. So that gets taken care of. Lap 29, where we will end poor Franco Colapinto's current F1 stint with a power unit issue, retire the car. Sorry, Franco. Thank you for your service.
You did great, kid. I as much pain as I've been in for this entire season, the few races that you've raced for Williams has been fantastic, and I appreciate the work you did to try to get this team to some semblance of a great finishing position. Unfortunately, we didn't finish in a great finishing position, but I don't think that's your fault necessarily. As a rookie, you did really good, and yeah, thank you, Franco.
To continue, as we continue on to our disappointing ends, just mere 2 laps later, Valtteri sees the side of Kevin Magnussen is like, smash. And just gets it. Just spins them both out. Heavy damage to Valtteri's car. Somehow, the Haas was okay. In fact, the Haas was better than okay. We'll bury that lead for now. But yeah, Valtteri just loses it. Full lock. Smash. And that will see the end of his race because his wing fucked, suspension fucked, career maybe.
Well, if you say career, there's probably still a career. If you say racing career, there's probably still a racing career. If you say Formula 1 racing career, yeah, it's fucked.
Yeah.
He's gone. He's gone. He may not be coming back.
Yep. Which means if he does not come back, he's joining a great club, including a rookie, Mika Hakkinen, and a whole lot. He does get a 5-place penalty for this for his next race in which he participates, which is not known to happen at all. Or if will happen at all. I can't speak at all today.
Though I think the regulation is that it is supposed to be for the same season, but
Yeah, whatever. It's more fun of this penalized club.
Perpetual penalty.
Yep. So, and obviously retires from there. That's another unfortunate ending. Not good for those. It all started at the start. There was kind of a literal collision course that just all these poor drivers. One I don't feel bad for. Lance Stroll. Basically, at the checker flag, he gets a 5-second penalty for track limits. I was going to handle this a little later because it's marked later, but might as well handle it now. He throws a little bitch fit on the radio because he's an entitled shithead. So
We hate Lance Stroll here.
Yeah.
As much as I loved giving him that little star credit a week or two back, we hate Lance Stroll here.
Just the whiniest little, like, you're at the back of the pack. You just shut up.
We're like rocket-powered Mohawk, but there's 2 of us.
I have no love lost for Lance Stroll. Like, just it's the end of the season. Your engineer's trying to get you to be, hey, we had a good season, whatever, and you're just being a little whiny bitch. Like, fuck off. Go spend some Nepo money. He's also a Montreal Canadiens fan, so
Oh, extra gross.
Yeah. All right. Let's talk about fastest lap. Because in this whole race, and we're intentionally ignoring kind of the front of the pack. But, you got McLaren, you got Ferrari, you got Max just, out there to have some fun. But your fastest lap and track record at 1:25.637 is Kevin Magnussen in the damaged Haas.
Who knew that if you poked some holes on the Haas, that it would make it go faster?
Yep.
Someone should have told Gunther Steiner, and maybe he would have let Mick stay.
Turns out Mick was the new Adrian Newey. But yes, 2 go out. Of course, Kevin Magnussen's definitely looking like his for sure last Formula 1 race to set the lap record, which was 2021 was the last time it was set by Max Verstappen. Hey, remember that? Cool.
No,
yes.
I do remember that. There's a few things about that though, because that is his last race. That is the current track record. That's also going to be the last fastest lap that would have been available for an extra bonus
4
point,
points.
even though it's not this race because he finished at the back of the pack. But
He was the last driver to finish. That's a mystery Cheskov's gun we'll use for next time.
That's a mystery Mascatola that we'll use later. Don't sue us, Disney. That's the last one that's going to count because next year they're doing away with the bonus point for that, which I hate. I actually hate.
I assume they're still going to track it at least, probably. I mean, we're getting
I'm
the fastest lap
sure.
in quali, but
Yeah.
because that's how quali works. But
I'm sure it'll still be in the notes and whatnot, but that's just
now, if she
insane.
finished top 10, he could have got the last fastest lap point of all time.
Yeah.
Good job, K-Mag.
Actually proud.
You know, I was so excited from that, I didn't actually write down the finishing order. I normally at least write the top 3.
The top 3, the top 3 for Abu Dhabi were Lando Norris, Carlos Sainz, and Charles Leclerc.
So close, but not close enough. So your World Constructors Championship, for the first time since from before either driver was alive, is McLaren. And congrats to Andrea Stella and nobody else. And the drivers, but nobody else.
Well, the pit team as well.
Yeah, everybody but Zach Brown.
Yeah.
Congratulations to every single other
You're
person.
not included. Go fuck yourself.
Go fuck yourself. Oh, man. Just obnoxious, loud asshole. Antagonizing Max basically on the radio with a simply lovely comment after the fact. Bullshit move. Such pick me girl energy.
It's not even a bullshit move. That's a chicken shit move.
Yeah.
Fuck you, Zach Brown.
So, yep. And yeah, I'm not even going to comment on Lando's next year will be mine comment. Well, because we'll see.
We'll see. That's a whole new year.
Yep.
Whole new year, whole new designs and everything.
I can cheer for Lando Norris again. I won't be cheering for Zach Brown.
Do we forget that Adrian Newey is going to be at Aston Martin? Lance Stroll could be the champion next year. He won't be the champion, let's be honest. He could be the champion.
It's like, okay, Lance, to do with your strength. I don't know why I knew this accent for Adrian Newey. I'm pretty sure it's just kind of generic, but it's like, all right, you don't use them anyway, so for aerodynamic efficiency, we're just going to get rid of your fucking mirrors.
Honestly. Angle them, make it an aerodynamic surface and angle them downwards because he's not going to fucking use them.
But yeah, so McLaren, your champion, Constructors Championship. Ferrari does get P2 to welcome Lewis in next season. When Checo DNF'd, unfortunately, that did lock in Red Bull for the P3, so that was kind of overlap one turn one for Red Bull, unfortunately. Thank you, Valtteri.
Woo!
Now, some great racing. Again, good job, McLaren, whatever. Charles, Chuck, Leclerc.
Oh, my God.
Again, because we never remember how to do the order. Don't worry, we'll fix it in between seasons. Do you want that to lead into driver of the day, or do you want to do any rundown stuff first?
Hell, let's run into driver of the day. Like, I think rundown's going to be towards the end anyways, so. Driver of the day.
I voted for Charles Chuck Leclerc because he is number 16, and he made up 16 places.
I also voted for Charles Chuck Leclerc.
And so did 29-point-something%, because I don't have the fine percentages. 4?
29.4.
Charles Leclerc, your driver of the day. Awesome drive.
Fantastic drive. Your driver of the day breakdown, Charles Leclerc with the 29.4%, Lewis Hamilton with 20.2%, Lando with 12.2%, Carlos with 9.2%, Valtteri with 4.5%, and all others receiving 24.5%. Charles, once again, as we've seen many times this season from different people, getting more than the other combined category.
Ooh.
So, good job. Your fastest lap, as mentioned before, Kevin Magnussen, a 125.637 on lap 57, the new track record for the Yas Marina circuit for Abu Dhabi Grand Prix in Formula 1. Because I know they do a couple of different other series there, other than just the regular support series. Like they do like the motorbike and all that sort of stuff.
It's got like its own motor,
its
own MotoGP,
yeah,
basically. Much like Lusail.
Yeah. Your fastest pit stop, yeah, something like that. Losai. Your fastest pit stop was McLaren. Lando Norris, 2.08 seconds on lap 26. That was honestly,
and it's so weird. It looked so slow to me. Like I would have told you that was a 5-second stop.
Yeah,
it just
absolutely
looked so
not.
slow on the front jackman. More than anything.
And then your slowest pit stop, that actually kind of counts, was Haas. Kevin Magnussen specifically, a 7.27 seconds on lap 12. There were 5 that were slower. Zhou with a 9:24, Lawson with a 12:21, Piastri with a 13:42, Max with a 13:56. All of those were because of penalties. And Valtteri with a 21.54, which was a combination penalty and new front wing.
I'm at the combination penalty and front wing.
Stupid.
Oh, I know what you're thinking. You guys talked about Charles, but what about Lewis? We're getting there.
We are
in
getting
the
there.
stars.
Yeah, let's get
Right
into
now,
stars.
exact.
Yeah, let's do it.
I don't know whose order it is.
Doesn't matter.
My third star is Kevin Magnussen.
Woo!
Fastest lap. Last race. His daughter and his wife were on the radio too. It was very cute. Yep.
That's it.
So I've been think of it, fastest lap in the last race, setting a track record. Kevin Magnussen, Daniel Ricciardo, handshake meme.
The Predator handshake meme.
Exactly the one I was thinking. So, yep, it's good work from K-Mag. Hole in your car, setting records, last race. I wish I learned how to say good luck in Dutch, or not Dutch, Danish.
He started his career with a podium and ended it with a fastest lap, which is apparently the reverse Nico Rosberg.
Oh, nice.
So, read that on Reddit. Someone posted. It's like, today I learned. I was like, today I learned too. My third star is... We're going to go ahead and get to him. Lewis Hamilton. End of an era. 12 years of racing with the Silver Arrows, 153 podiums, 84 of those were wins with the team. 6 driver championship wins with them, and 3,949 points scored with the Brackley team.
That is so many points.
So many points. Holy shit. All of that now cements itself in the history books today as Lewis finishes his last race with Mercedes, but not before delivering a monstrous drive from P16 to finish P4. Phenomenal performance and a true reminder as to why he is one of, if not the greatest of all time.
And I'll piggyback because Lewis is my second star. Just a great race. Especially after such a disappointing quali. Being such at war with that own Mercedes machine, and sometimes actually with Toto. Of course, at the end of the day, it's all hugs and emotions, and it was a good race for him. And I'll give the thing of could George fought him a little harder, sure, but I don't think George just gave him the spot. I think it was George could have, if he really wanted to, maybe he could have held on to that, but no. Let's send out Lewis with the team to his next. And Toto's little radio, it's like, if we don't win, you can win, basically. But yep. My second star, Lewis. Good race, Lewis. Good luck in Maranello. Good luck in Marinara. Arrivederci, boys.
And we're canceled. No, I'm excited. As a part-time Ferrari fangirl, I'm excited.
Everybody's a little bit Ferrari fan.
Everyone's a little bit.
As Seb says, everybody's a Ferrari fan.
Yeah, exactly. Everyone's a Seb fan too, but
let's bring him back.
Please. Put him on the GM team.
Let's make him FIA president, actually.
Let's do it. Anyways, all that said, my second star is the McLaren pit crew. They did it exactly right. No fuck-ups, no slips. That 2.08 second pit stop for Lando is one of the biggest reasons he came home first today. And the Constructors win today is just as much their work as it was Lando's and Oscar's. They've worked hard for this all year, and it has finally paid off. I was looking at the pit stop things. I was like, barring, I think, one race since Spa, they have been in the top 3 fastest pit stops every race. And they're tied with the fastest, but Red Bull got it first, so technically they get it. But they also had a 1.90 second stop in, I believe, Mexico. Excuse me, Mexico City, because it is the Mexico City Grand Prix this year.
Yep. Yeah, they did do good. Much as I don't want to give McLaren credit, it was good. I mean, think of it, McLaren of the start of 2023, they were basically Alpine.
Yeah, the Alpine levels.
And yeah, so a 2-year turnaround to a Constructors Championship and almost getting one of your drivers a World Drivers Championship.
Phenomenal job.
It's a good job. Again, congrats to everybody except for Zach Brown. Man. God, Adam Wilde is going to be insufferable.
That's fine.
Shout out to Nailing the Apex. Like, podcast that doesn't know we exist. But we'll shout him out.
It'll give him one thing to ignore Nashville about.
Yeah. All right. Number 1 star, of course, is 16 places. Number 16. Almost getting another team that has basically won a championship since they've been alive. Charles Leclerc, another great race. Almost gave it to both Ferrari, too, because Carlos did do a great race as well, and I kind of regret it. But you can't take away from Charles's race.
Yeah, 16 places. He's had a rough season, which does just sound like a broken record at this point. But he's kept his head down, maximized the points they could have gotten this race to round out the podium for Ferrari and secure second place in the Constructors title fight for them. Honestly, I couldn't even think of giving it to anybody else this race. Charles Leclerc.
Yeah. Honorable mention to Carlos Sainz for another good race. His last, of course. Lots of farewells.
Not last with Ferrari. Come on now. He's at Williams next year, which I'm also excited for, but we'll see how the car is.
Yeah. Hopefully they got some parts. Maybe they can optimize. Maybe Carlos bringing some that Santander money over. get some spare parts over the offseason built up.
Can a 3D printing company invest in Formula One, please, or invest specifically in Williams
like
racing?
A machining company, like Haas. Oh wait.
Oh wait. No, specifically Haas Automation, because that's a story for a different time.
All right. That's all I have.
Yeah.
I'm sure there's more.
That's.
I mean, there's definitely more. Obviously, the stuff we normally do, but comment wise, it's Abu Dhabi. It's the end of the season. That's 24 and 24. That's not the episode title. I'm pretty sure the episode title is just finale, but
finale or why? Yeah, no. Abu Dhabi. Great little race. Wasn't as boring as we assumed it would be, but still, a little bit of a procession is what it is. But your Abu Dhabi Grand Prix.
Actually, there was one more thing. Let me just
no, go ahead, cut in.
We're like, it's Nico Rosberg. Oh, cool. I wish Terry Crews was here. It popped up. Nico Rosberg and Terry Crews. Like, hell yeah! Terry Crews wasn't there. Fucking liars. Anyway, the Abu Dhabi Grand Prix.
The Abu Dhabi Grand Prix. Your rundown for the Abu Dhabi Grand Prix is as follows. Lando Norris, of course, staying right where he was to come home first place and secure that second place. That first place Constructors title for McLaren. Carlos Sainz finishes P2, gaining 1 spot, and Charles Leclerc 16 places to finish P3 and round out the podium. Your remainder of the top 10 is Lewis Hamilton gaining 12 places to finish P4, George Russell gaining 1 spot to finish P5, Max and Pierre both losing 2 spots to finish 6th and 7th respectively. Nico Hülkenberg finishes P8 after losing 1 spot. Fernando Alonso also loses a spot to finish P9. And Oscar Piastri rounds out your top 10, losing 8 spots to finish P10. Everyone outside of the top 10 are 1 lap down at least. Alex Albon gains 7 spots to finish P11. Yuki Tsunoda loses a spot to finish P12. Zhou Guanyu gains 2 spots to finish P13. Lance Stroll loses a spot to finish P14. Jack Doohan gains 2 spots on his very maiden race to finish P15. Kevin Magnussen loses 2 spots to finish P16. Liam Lawson doesn't technically finish, but he does classify because he raced enough of the race to classify. Loses 5 spots to finish P17.
3 laps down.
3 laps down.
/ DNF, depending which document you look at. This is all part of that Chekhov's gun, guys. Trust me.
Just next episode, you'll see. You'll see. Anyways, all of your DNFs are Valtteri Bottas, who lost 9 places to quote-unquote finish 18th.
Pain.
Huh?
Pain.
Yeah. It's a pain for everybody. Everyone loves Valtteri. Such a wholesome person.
I know it's a whole bit. Keep going.
Franco Colapinto gains a spot, but P19.
Pain.
And Sergio Perez loses 10 places to be last on the grid.
Pain.
This is a household of pain.
Yes. Not the show on CBS?
Something like that. I'm not sure. Yeah, just pain. One other thing, a note that I didn't even mention. I didn't do a battles thing because only one thing changed this week, which was Pierre pipping Nico for 10th in the Drivers' Championship, which, woo, good job. Everything else stayed the same. We'll get more into that in the next episode, and I'll do a full run-through of that. 24 racers we ended up having, and
25?
24. Logie didn't finish last.
Jack finished last.
Jack finished last.
How do we have 24, not 25?
Who would have been the 25th?
Because we had we had 3 sets of 2 drivers.
Last week we had 24.
Yeah, and then we added Jack.
No, last week we had 23. Correction.
I was thinking maybe
That's
last
the whole
year.
list.
All right.
Entire
I thought we had
list.
24 last week.
No, we had 23. And then Jack Doohan joined in, and he's 24.
Yeah. Whatever. Still, it's still so many drivers.
So many drivers. As many drivers as we had races.
And we had
as
so many
as
races.
we've had this. Yeah. Anyways.
At this point, SDPN should just acquire us because we make enough references.
God.
We'll be the less qualified
Less
F1
qualified.
podcast on the network.
God.
Well, the other one is an actual credentialed TSN reporter. So
No, not that. Like that. Thinking about it. Anyone else wanting to start a F1 podcast? Less Qualified sounds like a fantastic name for that.
Yeah. I mean, that was kind of our initial was DSQ is like, right?
You can tagline it.
Yeah.
DSQ.
DSQ, the less qualified podcast. If we were in qualifying, we'd be out Q1. DSQ podcast, available wherever you get your podcasts. We'll add that for season 2, but like I said, we have one more episode for the technical 2024 season, or our season 1. We'll go through the season at large, and go through our blind predictions and how we scored. We did go over quite a bit today, and we were surprised with actually how competent we were on some stuff of like,
Yeah.
hey, Liam, you really screwed some stuff up for a minute there. But yeah, then after that, I don't know how we're handling the summer. We're obviously going to work on some stuff, but
Summer, yeah.
or summer, winter, break, whatever.
Yeah, no.
And we said, we're testing's less than 90 days away.
It's insane.
So it's basically just a fall break.
It's longer than that.
Yeah, it's longer than that.
It's
But
like 3 fall breaks.
but plus we got preseason. We got to know. I mean, we still got a lot of
Preseason liveries.
Yep, the full event at the O2. Guess what? We're not going to that because we're not millionaires.
There's still there is still
That's
an
the 18th, so
entire
that's still like less than 2 months.
seat that is not filled yet. We don't know who is there.
So we're so far from done, but this episode is. So
Yeah,
we'll see you relatively soon. I won't say next week. Maybe some point because next week's actually kind of stacked.
Yeah,
next
we
weekend's
actually
stacked.
have plans for once. Let's go.
Yep. Now that the F1 season's over, we can do some hockey shit. So that'll be fun. Yep. All right. We'll see you as we wrap up the season.
Follow the pod everywhere at DSQ Pod. And follow the crew at Medic50 and at Goalie Cody 30.